You know, I told the guys at halftime, this is what a Mountain West game is supposed to feel like. Highly competitive, both teams going at each other extremely hard, and that there were going to be some spurts in the second half. And we had to have more spurts than they did. And we started the second half, we got on a little roll, we built, I think, a 9-point lead, and then they came back. They mixed a little zone and man on us, and they spurted back on us. And it was close down the stretch, and both teams played the exact same game plan at the end. Drive the ball to the basket, try to finish with layups or contact, and get to the foul line. And they made more plays than we did. They were able to stop us at the rim with some shot blocking. We had a couple layups that we got to the rim that we couldn't finish. And to their credit, they got in there and finished some of theirs. When Malik got hurt, I decided to go small. And that was a byproduct of them really starting to run us a little bit. I felt we should get more athletic bodies back. So I played Jalen as the 5-man down the stretch. And he did a pretty good job defending in the low post, but we didn't get enough resistance at the rim against him. We let him get to the rim, and our lack of size may have hurt us there. They continue to attack us with bigger players to the rim, bigger guards, and we didn't offer enough resistance down the stretch to prevent them from making timely layups. After the game, I told the team in the locker room, I've been doing this a long, long time, and the one thing I know for certain is nobody's going to feel sorry for you. So don't feel sorry for yourself. And that's the beauty of basketball, is we don't sit and dwell on a loss for a week like they have to in football. We are playing again Saturday in New Mexico, and I told them if they're the team I think they are and they have the grit I know they have, that we will be ready to bounce back and go back to work and play at Albuquerque on Saturday and come out of there with a victory. So it's the beauty of basketball.
They seemed, Trey, Jalen right here, that they knew they had let one get away. That's how they felt. They controlled a lot of the game.
Yeah, I think, Boise, we played well and they beat us, and we played well. But I think we know we didn't play well down the stretch in this game. And I told them that's partially on me. I have to put you in a better position to be successful. And I stayed with a game plan that worked in the first half. We just decided that we were going to spread ball screen and go downhill on them because we didn't think they were particularly great at guarding dribble drive either. So both teams went downhill on each other a lot. They tried to mix in a few post touches, but we kept it out of there. I don't think we got hurt in the low post a lot. It was two teams driving the ball. Which has become college basketball to a large degree. We tried to move it into some drives a little better. We tried to play some matchups. There was a stretch in the second half where we weren't ball screening for Devin. We tried to get Jeremy downhill because we liked that matchup better. We tried to get Trey a couple of plays where we liked that better. We tried to set matchups with ball screens and tried to attack to the rim. I think we were pretty focused on scoring. There were times maybe we could have kicked it out, but, they made decisions, and we'll look on tape, and the tape will show if they were the right ones or not. Maybe they just the defense was better than the offense at times. But it's disappointing. Like I said, I took a timeout down to one or two, and I had a set play that we had worked on in practice, and we got to the game. We didn't get it executed. So I told them that's on me, We didn't get the play that we had worked on in practice, designed. It didn't get run correctly. So back to the drawing board on that. And that's the fine line where they ask you, should you take a timeout or should you play? Obviously, at that point, I wish we'd have played because we didn't execute what I called. So there's learning to be done. This is college basketball. And these are kids that sometimes they have to play in a different position like we did down the stretch, and maybe that was the reason the play was not as effective as it needed to be, because we're playing different positions than they normally play. So there's always lessons to be learned, both from coaches and players. And we'll learn them, we'll get better, and we will get ourselves back into this race somehow.
What were you supposed to do in that play, and what happened?
Well, we were trying to screen Devin up, screen Jeremy out to the wing. We're going to ball screen for Jeremy, and he was supposed to reject that ball screen and go down the baseline. So we could set a flare and then screen a guy around. And he went out to the wing, and he came middle with the ball. So, Jeremy hasn't played that spot, and I tried to draw it up for him in a timeout. There's nothing wrong with Jeremy on that play. He's usually the point guard on the second team on that play. So that's on me. You know, I have to work with him in that other position. So that's not on him, that's on me. So Jeremy, you know, we still didn't turn the ball over. We still got a shot, but it wasn't the shot I wanted to get or design the play I wanted to run. So it wasn't like we made a blunder and turned it over. We ended up playing on, and I think maybe got a ball screen for an attack, but not the exact play I wanted to try to run out of a timeout. So
Thoughts on how Nate Grimes played tonight? I mean, he barely played for them, averaged 3 points a game, and was a huge factor tonight.
yeah, we knew on tape, when you watch him on tape, he's a tremendous offensive rebounder, and that's where he got a lot of them. You know, and I think he was the beneficiary of us being in zone. You know, when we zoned the first half, it was effective. The second half, they put it to the high post, and our wings didn't drop down low enough. They were a little nervous. We had shooters on their side, and so they kept ghosting underneath. The same thing we do, everybody does in zone offense, and we didn't make the drop to cover our big man who came up to the high post. So I think we got nervous with shooters on our wings and didn't make a play that we have to make. And we will show them on tape, and we will get better at that. But they made some plays the second half, both in man and zone, that they didn't make in the first half. So they have a veteran team. They have veteran guards. And so veteran guards made big plays for them down the stretch.
Only 9 3-point attempts tonight. Was there any particular reason for that, kind of a light amount for you guys?
You know, they played us mostly man, you know, so we really worked on, you know, over the last 2 or 3 weeks of trying to get a second penetration, you know, to drive the ball and kick it, and instead of settling for that three, to drive it again. And I think we had some success with that. So that's the team trying to listen to what we're trying to do from a game plan-wise, do the second drive, maybe turn down the three unless you're in great rhythm. So I don't want them nervous to shoot threes, but it is something we've been working on to try to get to the rim more aggressively. And the one thing we did do this game, which we haven't done because we've seen so much zone, is we got to the foul line. So you shoot 36 free throws, that's a byproduct of attacking the basket. You know, I don't know if we've shot 36 in a game in 3 games in the conference combined. So when we finally played a team that manned us, I thought we did a really good job attacking to the basket. But like I said, down the stretch, the last 2 or 3 minutes, we didn't get fouled and we didn't get the baskets. And so that was the key, you know, that, you know, I think Matt Mitchell had a baseline drive. He had a reverse layup that he missed. Devin Watson got in there, you know, got a shot blocked. You know, so Jeremy got in there on a ball screen, got downhill, maybe got one stripped or got a tough shot up. So we didn't get in there and finish, and they got in there and finished. So that was the difference in the game. 2 teams playing the same way. One team was more successful than the other.
You've been actually shooting free throws much better this season. How frustrating is it when you have a night like this where you don't shoot them as well in a basically a one-possession game?
Yeah, in a close game, those are huge deals. So, you know, that's just hard work. That's getting in there and shooting them and then having the confidence to make them. So we missed a couple down the stretch that would have been nice to have. And
is it more frustrating when your team has been shooting them well all season as opposed to the last few years where they just weren't a very good free throw shooting team and you couldn't really expect it?
It's frustrating today. It's been gratifying to know that they're shooting better from the foul line on the season. You know, this one game, you know, hopefully it's an anomaly, that it's not going to continue, that they'll get back into rhythm and start making free throws. So, but I think everybody, you know, has a game or two like that. Even good free throw shooting teams will have a game where they struggle from that line and they just won't go in. And sometimes you know how it is. When you miss one or two, then the next guy's a little nervous and he might miss one. So sometimes it has that compounding effect. So maybe that was part of it tonight. But, you know, we made enough plays to win the game. We just didn't make enough down the stretch to win it.
Anything else for Coach?
Just an update on the league and his prognosis.
Yeah, Malik, they came to me maybe with 40 seconds in the game and said he was available if I needed him. So I just thought he had missed so much and wasn't in rhythm to put him in that late. But if we were to happen to push it to overtime, that I think he would have been available, I would have used him again. But I just think with the amount of time he missed and the way the rhythm of the game was going, I didn't want to throw him back in there out of rhythm at the end.
With Pope only playing the 6 minutes in the first half, what effect did that have on you playing McDaniels 19 minutes? And then, like, what did you think of his performance tonight? Another double-double.
Yeah, more so Jalen's been consistently putting double-doubles up, so he played great. But I thought Cam Rooks and Nolan Narain, who neither played a minute against Boise, came in and played really quality minutes in the first half. So I was pleased with their effort and the way they played. And both teams were in foul trouble. I know that they had Carter, they had Williams both out of the game. They had Bittner out of the game with 3 fouls. So both teams were in foul trouble the first half. Us not as much as them, but Malik with 2, I decided not to play him with 2 and save him with the 3 in the second half. And then obviously he got the injury down the stretch. And Malik was playing well. I mean, for the minutes he played, he had great numbers. He played only 18 minutes. He had 10 points in 18 minutes. So it would have been nice to have him in there. He's obviously one of our best players.